West Ascension Consolidated Gravel Drainage District meeting is called to order for October 6, 2016. And invocation, come on, Krista. Bow our heads. Dear Lord, bless this great parish, bless this great state, and all the citizens in it, and give us the power and strength to make the right decisions for this community. And most of all, oh Lord, bless every member here on this council. Thank you. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, roll call. Everyone here, Ms. Peggy? Accepting the minutes.
Motion.
Second. No objection. Accepting the minutes for September the 1st, 2016. Item number 4, Jews Drive. Mr. Anderson.
On Jews Drive, we set the cover across the road. We cut the road. We set the cover across the road. We put the cover at the back by his gate. We got everything cleared up on the road, except for the trees. He told us to hold up on that right now. Mm-hmm. But we working at the back and trying to get all the back straight now. So I say we're about 75, 80% done.
And I'm hoping this here solve that problem with that area. Got a couple houses flood in that area routine, and so basically hoping that will work out for them. Okay? No question? All right. We'll move on to item number 5. Drainage issue on Warner's Turf Farm. Mr. Alan Warren, he was supposed to be here. If he's not here by the end of the meeting, if he comes, we'll let him talk. If not, we'll just move on as of right now. All right. Item number 6, Lemonville Cutoff Bridge. Mr. Ron Savard.
Still no change in that. With the east side projects are still ongoing.
Ongoing.
Yeah.
All right. Item number 7. Okay, cover for Bayou Napoleon. Update on that. I went and looked at it, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. That engineer, you know, and we'll see when the weather get bad and see if it's gonna work. But they got a big slope in that, Ron. I know y'all try to keep it where that water will flow over it and everything, but we'll
we
see,
documented
you know.
everything that was done.
Yeah.
I think it's a 9-foot culvert was sized, and then you got a 85-foot top bank, from top bank to top bank, and we stretched a string across the top, and the cross section going down to the top of the road is 3 foot. So you do have, in addition to the 9-foot culvert, you've got 85-foot width going to a 3-foot deep center line cross section there, in addition to the volume of the culvert. So that is there.
Okay. I'm just saying my point of view of it. You wasn't here when this all came through from the beginning, so I can't
Yes.
look at you. If y'all don't mind, before we go to item number 8, I see Mr. Warren, Alan Warren is here. If y'all don't mind, we go back to item number 5. All right. We're going to the drainage issue with Mr. Warren Turf Farm. Mr. Alan Warren, you don't have to sign in. You're already on the agenda, okay?
On the agenda. Sorry for my tardiness there. The farm caught me pretty hard today.
All right.
Can you hear me? Just good,
Yeah.
good mic? Okay.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Anyways, thank you for inviting me here tonight. And my name is Alan Warner. I'm with the Warner Companies, where we have the turf farm just south of town here. And been in the farming business all my life. I'm a 3rd-generation sod farmer. And we've been in town since 2006, so we've been farming for 10 years. But anyways, I guess we all got caught up in the drainage issue here about, I don't know, what has it been, 45 days there now?
And something like that.
And basically that's why I'm here tonight. I know it's very important for both the city and for the farmers and for everybody's benefit that we work together on our master drainage plan. And I know how important it is for my farm not to flood, and I know how important it is for the town not to flood. And so I want you to know here on behalf of the Warner family that we would like to assist in any way, shape, or form with any sort of right-of-way or easements that you guys may need on the perimeter ditches around the farm. The reason I'm here tonight is there's been some changes, I guess, in how attorneys see things and how the public sees things. I know currently we have a lawsuit against us, which I don't know how far that ended up going, but basically listing us as part of a drainage problem for the town here in Donaldsonville and why their house may or may not have flooded. And so I feel like, you know, as a farmer, I shouldn't be in the drainage business. I should, you know, give you guys the area and the easements you need so that you can open up your ditches so that you can have the water flow like you need to. And so I'm just here tonight to state we're in support of anything in any way, shape, or form to help the farmers, the city, anything we can do for the public. And what I would like to do is propose working with you guys on a master drainage plan that goes through the farm and around the farm. I understand that there's a ditch that flows east and west in the farm, and I'm currently using it to supply some irrigation needs on the farm. And so what we'd like to do is work together to balance if I need to change the way I irrigate on the farm and the canals that I use and such. And so basically I've been working with the freshwater district about getting the permit and everything in place so that we can properly draw from the bayou. Right now we're operating under basically a common law understanding from many years ago, but we're trying to make it official into the point of having a permit issued for long-term consumptive use to water our sod and our crops. So the fact that we need to have water, but the fact that you guys need to have drainage and we all need drainage, I feel like together we can balance something out, and you guys may have access to things that I don't have access to, such as different grant funds or FEMA monies or Corps of Engineers. There may be things that you guys can do that I can't do, but I want you to know that I'm here to help and work with the parish and the public. And just feel free to be able to call me at any time. And I want to help you. And I'm open tonight if there's any questions or concerns. I'll be happy to address.
What's your number?
My telephone number is 251 747 0425. And my name is Allen, A-L-L-E-N, Warner, W-O-E-R-N-E-R. And
Is that a cell phone?
yes, sir, that is my personal cell, and I had new business cards made this week, but I've only been in town about one night in the past 2 or 3 weeks now, so I haven't got my new business cards, or I'd give each one of you guys a new business card, but been on the road lately. But if there's anything, you know, another thing that I would like to mention here is I did have some concerns, but I'm willing to just table all that and see how the future lies with the drainage. There was a culvert installed both to the south and a little bit to the east of our piece of property, and I felt like it was going to be a bottleneck point. And the reason why I really brought a lot of attention to it, and our concern on my behalf and the farm's behalf, is I know how critical that Bayou Napoleon is for the city. And they were already looking at some of the drainage ditches that were on our property, and I know that that one's the artery. And any sort of changes or modifications to that main artery that drains, it would be great if you guys could contact me or other farmers whenever there's going to be any sort of changes that you feel maybe needing, you know, public comment, because I'm out of town, and I just apologize I wasn't following the agenda, and I'm here a little bit too late. And so, but I'm willing to watch. I understand you guys got engineers and you're professionals. I just want to voice I did have some concerns about it, but I'm just going to wait and see. Hopefully everything's going to work out just fine. So.
Okay.
Mr.
Yeah. Thank you for coming, Alan.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, just,
I'd like to get a clarification, and one, thank you for having your business in Ascension Parish. I've been by there many times. I haven't bought any grass from you, but
Yeah.
I'm always amazed at how nicely everything looks there, and looks like you have a very good business. When you started off, you said that about right away in the perimeter ditches.
Yes, sir.
Is that correct? So
Yes, sir.
What about drainage across your property?
That's where I wanted to try to work with you guys, and I know if you guys need it and need to widen it, what I need to do is come up with a master plan about what I need to change about how the farm's currently laid out to where it needs to be in the future. I'm open for any suggestions. I got a couple of ideas that I can copy that I seen in Texas that was working, where they were building a little canal, above ground canal system, a little earthen dam, and they were pumping water into that earthen canal, and it would gravity flow, and the irrigation system would just walk alongside of it. And that would allow one ditch to remain open, but yet have a supply line coming in. So I'm just trying to figure out where all that's going to fit in the future. But I was hoping if you guys could get any grant funds, maybe we could just double or triple the size of that main ditch coming through the farm. If you guys can take it out to the Bayou Lafourche area, and then see about, okay, what do I need to build on my side? And maybe while you're digging some of the dirt there, I can use some of that dirt to build my little retainer canal that's going to move water through there.
So what you're looking at doing is pumping out of Bayou Lafourche and then impeding that flow somehow so that it stays on your property, is that?
Yes, sir. And then what we could do is we could sit down and map out, I pretty much have an understanding what canals you guys need, and then all the other interior ditches, if you feel like that won't affect you in any way, I would like to be able to use those internal ditches. And I mean internal ditches, we're talking about ditches, 5 to 8 foot wide and 3 to 4 foot deep, just your normal field drainage ditches. I would like to be able to manipulate water levels in those internal ditches only on areas that are attributed to the basin of property that's owned by Warner. So I wouldn't go on and raise the water level in a ditch. The reason I'm using ditches is it's cheaper to run water through a mile-long ditch than it is to pipe it and push it underground. I can freely do a lift pump that just picks it up and throws it in there, and then I can go a half mile to a mile down and then withdraw it to irrigate the crops. So we can sort through, but if I understand really where you guys need to be, then I'll go make the adjustments needed on my side. So,
Okay.
but what I don't want to do is just be involved with every sort of 100-year flood or any sort of scenario where they're like, okay, well, the farmer out there is flooding the town. I don't want to do that. That's not good for anybody, not good for us, not good for you guys, community. And, I'm really shocked. I'm in charge of 5 different farms from South Florida to Colorado, and every state but Louisiana has a very comprehensive drainage plan with their ditches. I mean, there's absolute control over these canals. And it just seems like, maybe there needs to be some things brought up at the state level or even at the local level, how you guys can get control of the necessary arteries that drain the city. I mean, that should be something the parish controls. It should not be owned by a farmer. It's the public. It's preservation of public and flooding. I don't understand why it ain't more critical, but hopefully in the coming years, maybe there'll be some legislation or things changed here in Louisiana that would help keep a master drainage plan going here.
Well, I mean, we're in the process of,
That's what I'm about to say.
we're
Great.
doing that on the West Bank now. So we're trying to identify the major drainage ditches and to, obtain the right of way where we need to. And
Yes,
so
sir.
that process is going on right now. I don't know if Ron is able to comment on it or not, but Mr. Rue's not here tonight, but we do, that is something that's going on right now.
Now, because we're located on a dividing line between Ascension and Assumption Parish, is that a joint venture? What's that?
You could just all move to Ascension.
Almost to Ascension?
Just move everything over to
Just
Ascension.
move everything to Ascension? I didn't know how good, if, the master plan was going to be able to cross all these different lines, you know,
Well,
that'd be
probably
great.
not gonna cross
It's
that line.
probably, not. It's probably gonna take a team effort with Assumption to bringing them on board to see if it's gonna impact us. But that master plan will be worked out with those issues, and I wish Bill was here because he would be able to elaborate on that a whole lot more in depth, because he is working on that plan right now,
Yes, okay.
so.
All right, well, we're here. We want to help. We don't want to be a force that works against you in any way. Just want you to know whatever I can do on my side to help you guys out, and whatever you can do to help me out. I mean, we'll sit here and we'll help each other and we'll work through this. And hopefully we don't have no more flooding events like this, because this is a disaster.
Hope not, hope not. But I really appreciate you coming on, Mr. Allen, and I'm glad you here to support us with our master plan, and we're definitely, once this plan start coming out, all the farmers, all the landowners that are gonna be involved with this will come out for a public hearing,
Okay.
and we're gonna start getting your input and everything in it. And I appreciate you taking the initiative, and
Yes, yes.
for this right now. I know you and Ron have spoken, you have spoken to us about it, and we still gonna keep that communication open, and
Okay.
hopefully we can get this solved with this master plan.
All right.
Okay?
Is there any future plans currently on the table to do any other improvements coming out of Donaldsonville on those perimeter canals that you're needing there?
I would tell you, Ron, I guess we have to get in with Bill to really visualize that. Bill, I really don't know.
Well, right, as of right now, everything legally here in the Ascension, we have to have drainage servitudes and right-of-ways on
Okay.
things from point A to point B. So your lot is great, and we appreciate that very much, but there's, whether we spoke about it, there's several other landowners.
Yes, sir.
And then in addition to that, the exit point of the parish at Highway 70, you actually got Assumption Parish, like we're talking about, involved with it too. So,
It's a little bit more difficult than we.
right.
You know, I've been hollering for a master plan for a while.
Yes.
And now we finally getting it on the table. So, like I say, we really just starting to crawl on this project.
Okay.
Moving in that direction. So I'm just glad you're here to be at this, stage in it right now.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So feel free to call me or email. You guys got my
I got
contact.
your number.
Do you need me for any further business here at this meeting tonight, or am I free?
No, you're free to go. I
Free
appreciate
to
you
go back to
coming
farming? Okay.
Yeah.
All right then. Well, thank you for having me. Sorry I was late there, and call me anytime. Thank you now.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Moore. All right. We was on item going to number 8. Item number 8, agreement with West Ascension Drainage and the city of Downsville. Discussion was me, and basically I was hoping Bill would be here to elaborate a little bit more on his vision of this agreement. Since Bill have took over, we have noticed some things that we have to look at what the city can do and what we can do, and try to work out some agreement where both parties know who's responsible for what. And for that, I'm gonna just have to wait till Bill get back
I
on
did
that.
talk to
Ron,
him
you would like
today
to?
about it a little.
Yeah.
His biggest thing is, this may wind up going into like a cooperative endeavor agreement where our services are beneficial to them, but we get something in return with the parish too. So it would be a win-win for everyone kind of thing. But he's more than willing to meet about it with parish president and mayor. We need to sit down and really talk about it and define our scope as Donaldsonville workers. What is our responsibilities, and what do we need to focus on? It's not that our guys don't want to solve problems or fix drainage. That's what we're here for, but we want to go about it the right way. So that's what his mindset is on it.
Thanks, Ron. And basically, that's what it is. We're trying to just open that dialogue and discussion to see what direction we can go with.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. All right, item number 9.
We're gonna just move that to the next meeting.
Which one? Number 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna keep that one on. That one is gonna, unless you want to take it off there, Bill.
No, I
All
won't
right,
leave it on.
Okay. Number 9, the master drainage plan, West Ascension Master, Bill Rue is not here, and basically, once again, Bill is working on it, and we're moving forward with it, but once again,
Yeah, I think you all may want to meet with engineer Daryl Primo and Bill. I met with Daryl today, and they looked at this same issue, like you said, several years back. So they actually have your major channels, Napoleon McCall, Verrett, several of them. And they did survey it with a grant back in 2011, I think. So they actually have a design back in 2011. You may want to update that before moving forward with something today, but it's something to start with, you know, as to a plan for each area that we need to identify and include in this. And there may be things that you all want to add in addition to these. I think it's 5 of them that are named on this. And there may be more in there than what you're, what are on this list than what y'all want on there.
Right. Well, if we can, I guess we can set something with the parish president on the east side over there, and we can just look at the maps and work out some detail before
Okay.
we get some public input to see what direction we're gonna go, if you don't mind, Mr. President. All right,
I'll set that up on an email and we'll get a
Okay.
date and time. Maybe we'll meet about it.
good. All right. Item number 10, Culvert, St. Jude's Canal, Lemonville Cutoff Road, Mr. Anderson.
Well, we completed that, and we put some riprap around the edges of it and got it completed, so it's ready, it's done.
Okay, great.
All right, well, if that's completed, Ms. Peggy, we can remove this one off the agenda. All right. Item number 11, St. James, Assumption, and us with that Bayou-Napoleon drainage going through those to get it dredged. Who got an update on that one? Mr. Pierce.
Yeah, I talked to St. James personnel this week, and they met with Lafourche Parish, but not on something to do with St. James and Lafourche, on another issue other than drainage, but they brought up the drainage issue that we have at that meeting. And they said that the parish president in Lafourche, Jimmy Cantrell, said he would like to do some research and look at the area we're talking about, and then come back to us in St. James and all the parishes involved to coordinate a meeting and talk about the drainage improvements. St. James is currently, as we mentioned in the past meetings, they are pursuing a permit with through T. Baker Smith to clean out some of their drainage ditches in the parish, which would be helpful in, you know, coordinating all this together with the Lafourche Parish. So that's pretty much involved with them, because they have to go to the Department of Natural Resources and also the Wildlife and Fisheries, and they got to deal with all those governmental agencies. They all have input on that drainage issue, and they have individual needs that they need to do regarding their agencies. So that's the latest. I'm going to continue to pursue meetings with them. I'm going to follow up with them until we set a date and time, and then I'll notify everyone involved, you two councilmen and Mr. Bill Rue, myself, and whomever else needs to be in the meeting, Parish President Matassin, and then we'll get together and sit down. Probably we'll have to meet in Lafourche Parish somewhere, because that's ultimately where the drainage needs to come from the lower end coming up. So I'll pursue that to be,
All right.
try to get that done.
Bill, you got anything on that? I think we asked to send a letter to our legislator, Mr. Ed Price and Troy Brown, to see what can they do to assist us in this. And did we ever send anything, or did we do anything, Ms. Peggy? Okay, I'm gonna request again that we send something to them to see what they can do with that. I mean, we've
Right.
been working on this project
Right.
now for about 5 or 6 years, and I haven't heard anything from them. I know I have spoken to them, but we need to send them something and see if we get a response back from them of where they're at.
Well, can't we get them to try to set the meeting up? Maybe have Ed Price set up the meeting.
We can do either or, whatever one but we need to see where they're
We have
standing.
to have somebody to get all these, so we need St. James, Assumption, and LaFouche. We need them all three and us, so
Right.
Moose,
it's gonna take some.
Moose, you gonna handle that? Try to set that up, a meeting,
What
vice
is
of the,
Peggy going, what is Peggy? She needs to send a letter
to them to set up a meeting with you and Moose? They send a letter to them or try to invite them so we can set up a meeting and see where they're at. We need some type of communication with those
You
legislators.
want to set it up with us, just our delegation first, and then go forward from
Well,
there?
I mean, I think Mr. Troy Brown represent all those parishes. He represent us in all four of those parishes, Assumption, Iberville, and LaFouche in that region, I think so. So, I
Okay.
mean,
The meeting is to discuss Bayou
Bayou Napoleon, St. James Bayou, it changed, the name changed.
It's several bayous. It's Bayou Verret, Bayou Napoleon.
You gotta have everybody to do their part, or don't it no good to do yours?
Well, and that's why we're trying to find out exactly where we at with, I know Moose have been talking to those parishes, but we need to know where the state's staying at, our representatives staying at with this.
Right, but that's a good idea because it involves the Department of National Resources and the Wildlife and Fisheries from the state, so, they all can join in to help.
All right? All right, Moose, we'll be waiting for your reply on that, all right?
Okay.
Okay, going to item number 12, reports. Mr. Ron.
We pretty much covered everything. We got a few minor things going on at the barn, working on getting permanent fuel tanks installed there. I hope to have that done in the next month or two. And Greg's been doing a good job of getting things with the crews going. And, other than that, that's about it.
I got one question for you, and I guess I should have asked this in here a while back, but how are we coming out with our work requests and getting that report for how many jobs are we doing, how many covers we're blowing, or how many jobs we're doing inside the city, how many we're doing outside, at least to see how we working out, I mean.
I've been looking at that, and I've kind of been holding off on doing a whole lot in the city until we figured out the Endeavor
Okay.
agreement. But we do have information on that, and like I said, we have a ability to give you some reports. I'll
Yeah,
email you some.
next meeting, you just have something that we can look at if we got any question on those
Sure.
things. Mr. Bill.
I don't know if it's Ron or Moose, but, somebody help me understand this. So we've got, in the financials, we've got lease purchases, $113,000 fleet management fee, $154,000 maintenance fee fund, $33,000. So we've got about $300,000 that we spend towards something. Can somebody help me out with what that is?
On the lease?
Well, you got these two. I mean, I understand lease purchases. I presume we get some equipment out of that.
Yes.
But then, then we have a fleet management fee. What do we get out of that? And then maintenance fund fee, does that cover the maintenance on all of our equipment? Or do we still pay maintenance?
That fleet management fee, I think all the vehicles and equipment in the parish, they put that into that
Well, I
one
mean,
fund.
look, we only get $1 million a year. It's a third of what we get is going towards these things.
Right, I think that's going to be adjusted. I talked to accounting last week, and they was mentioning something about that. So I'm going to get the formula that they're going to use. I think
Well, I'd
they're
like
gonna
to get,
change that.
maybe for the next meeting, somebody tell me, what do we actually get for this $300,000?
Okay, no problem.
Bill, we had it all down, and we're gonna explain it totally on what you get and how it goes down. This year, next year, and the third year, all of that, and what you get for your money.
Okay.
It has it all down, it just,
Now, you, Bill, you talking about 40-28 to the left, 40-38, and 40-39?
Right,
Yeah.
Okay.
right.
All right. Okay, moving on to Mr. Thomas Pierce, General Manager.
Yeah, I covered
You
everything.
cover it? Mr. Craig Anderson, West Side Management.
Cover everything. We got
All right.
some little other jobs going on, but everything was covered.
All right. Okay, and, I just want, I think the secretary that is in public work is working very well, and I think we're getting a lot of phone calls, and I think we're getting work requests in, because I don't get that many phone calls now, and once again, I'm gonna always give that number out, 257-1180. If you have any work requests, anything you need for public work, please call that number. All right, Mr. Bill Dawson, you have anything?
No.
All right, I don't. Item number 13, date and time of the next board meeting, Miss Peggy? November 3rd. All right, 5:15. All right. Moving on to item number 14.
Move to adjourn.
All right, second. Meeting adjourned.